Hello students, welcome back to 2D video game design. Today we're going to start doing some scripting, and in order to start scripting we need to have an IDE, an integrated development environment, to write our scripts in. Now the one that I recommend is Visual Studio. This one works very nicely with Unity, but this can be done with any text editor. However, Visual Studio is going to have a lot of autocomplete features in there that are going to make your life easy. So the first thing is, let's install Visual Studio. Most of your computers already have Visual Studio installed, but in case you try to do this and it doesn't work, let me go over how to do it. So in order to check to see if I have Visual Studio installed, I'm going to go to Installs. And here's the version of Unity that I'm using. I've got 3 different versions installed. So if I go back to my project, here's my project, and I see 2019.4 15F1. So I'm going to go to the 15F1 install, and I'm just going to go to Add Modules. Now the very first one right here is Microsoft Visual Studio Community 2019. So I'm just going to go there. And then I click next, and yes, of course I've read all of that. Okay, now if you have a school computer and you need admin access, you'll need to bring your computer in to get this installed. If not, if you're using your own computer, you should have your own admin access. And then it installs, and we wait, and we wait, and we wait. Okay, now that's all installed. I'm gonna go ahead and open up my project again. Okay, here we are back in the main Unity screen. So if I push play to look at my game, I see there's my sprite right there, kind of on the edge of the screen. I'm just gonna take that sprite and move it in a little bit. Okay, so there's my sprite. Let's edit this piece out. Okay, so in order to make a script in Unity, I'm gonna right click right here, and I'm gonna create a folder to store my scripts. And I'm just gonna call that scripts. In order to create a script, I'm going to double click here, and then if I right click, I'm going to create a C# script. Now, I want to name this one immediately with its permanent name. I don't want to go back and change this later. I'm just going to call this a demo script because the point of this is to get Visual Studio set up. I'm going to push enter. And then when I double click this, I can open it, and this should open up Visual Studio. There we go. Okay, here we are in Visual Studio. Now the one thing that I want to test before we get going is that Visual Studio is properly connected to Unity. Now, right here where it says miscellaneous files, that's a good indicator that it is not connected. So in order to test this, there is a feature that we're going to use in Visual Studio called transform. So if I start typing, I should see some stuff popping up for autocomplete. T-R-A-N. Okay, so right here, Visual Studio has not connected to the autocomplete. That's why it has no suggestions right here. Oh, there's a couple of them right there. So these autocomplete options right here are Visual Studio autocomplete. I'm looking for transform, which is a Unity autocomplete, and it's not there. So what I want to do is let's close this. Don't save. And then I'm going to go into Unity and I'm going to edit my preferences. Now in general, in external tools, it says right here, external script editor, and we want to change this right here to Visual Studio. Okay, and now that that has been selected, Visual Studio should work really nicely for me. So I'm going to open up demo script again. This will restart Visual Studio. Okay, and now I look up here, and instead of saying miscellaneous files, it says assembly C#. And if I start typing transform, TRANS, there it is. Okay, so now this is going to give me access to all of the autocomplete included with Unity.